Yesterday I did a sweep at the pump house trailhead in Homestead, and I collected some specimens, and I'm going to go through how to ID some of these specimens that I got. Let's start with what I think might be the easiest one, which is this tiny little jumper. Sometimes you can identify them just by their markings. This guy or girl is moving around a whole lot, so to get him in the field of the microscope, it's really going to be hard, so we gotta give him a little CO2 to put him to sleep. All right, I transferred our little guy into this smaller container, so now I'm gonna put some CO2 in there, and it won't be moving around, but it won't kill it either. Takes a minute. Okay. The white around its abdomen is definitely a mature male. There's some white spots on its head, banded legs, some white spots on the abdomen. So this is what they look like when they're coming out of the anesthesia, so to speak. He'll be crawling around in a few seconds, so I better get ready. Going by the markings that we could see under the microscope and the size, I kind of just quickly went through my book, Common Spiders in North America, Richard Bradley, and looked for a picture that kind of matched, and then read the description. So this is the picture I found most closely matches what we were looking at. It's the male. You can see the boxing gloves at the end of the palps. There's the spots on the abdomen and the stripe that goes around it. That was a standout. Bands on the legs, eyebrows, some spots on its head, and also there's the thick band that goes along the side of its head. So I'm thinking this is what it might be. Bear with me. Pellegrina galathea. And you can see there that the male is quite small. It's easier to remember the pepper jumper than Pellegrina galathea. And this is what the female looks like, and the female's larger than the male. One of the things about spider identification is not always accurate just by going by what it looks like. Usually you have to get into dissecting their genitals to get a real idea. That's why the microscope and everything and stuff is teeny weeny. And another thing that you want to consider when you're reading a description for spider identification is its distribution. So if I'm reading that Pellegrina galathea is only found in California, that's probably the wrong identification. Here the distribution says New England, west to Nebraska and Colorado, and then South Texas all the way down to Florida. They're found in herbaceous foliage of fields and prairies. That's where I did the sweep netting. They've been collected from the lower branches of trees. It's often an open field species. This book is great, The Spiders of North America, because it'll tell you like the seasonality, and it's saying males are found April through September. Bloop, it's June. That's my best guess at what kind of spider I have without dissecting it, which would mean killing it. So you put a little CO2 in there and check out what you can quickly before it comes out of anesthesia, and take a look and see what you can find. Pellegrina galathea is probably like Pellegrina galathea or something. Let's just call it the pepper jumper.